This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News, NDSU shot putters are throwing out the competition and launching their way to the top.
Meet the students who put the drag in dragons.
Moving into Shepherd's Arena, NDSU students continue a long-time tradition on campus.
But first, President Trump's travel ban may have been put on ice. Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Veronica Utek.
And I'm Benjamin Reiki. 2 NDSU students were killed in a crash on I-94 east of Fargo. 19-year-old Carson Roney and 18-year-old Danny Thompson were both sophomores. Their car was headed west on I-94 when they hit ice. North Dakota Highway Patrol says their car hit a guardrail. 3 people were in the car at the time of the accident. The third passenger is 18-year-old Haley Visto, who is hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. NDSU's president, Dean Bershani, says the Bison community is deeply hurt by this tragedy and extends their condolences to the families, classmates, and friends of Danny and Carson.
A video of students at St. John's University showing support for President Trump's plan to build a wall is under investigation. On a connecting bus, a fellow student captured the group chanting, "Build that wall," and posted it to Facebook. The post is growing in popularity for what many are calling insensitive behavior. Hundreds have commented on it, and even though it's only 6 seconds long, the video has received more than 30,000 views. The comments range from supporting free speech to bashing Trump's administration. President Donald Trump's recent executive order has officially been halted by the courts.
But reporter Trevor Tice found that for some in the Fargo-Moorhead community, it's still a concerning topic.
President Donald Trump's temporary travel ban has sparked controversy across the Muslim community and Republicans alike.
The way in which President Donald J. Trump has gone about that is, to my knowledge, unconstitutional and a signal in what I believe to be the first steps towards tyranny.
But thanks to the U.S. court system, those opposed to the ban can breathe a sigh of relief, at least for the time being.
The way that our current president is operating, it's not sure where it's going to lead. Yeah, none of us know anything about what's going to happen, so as a Muslim, I believe our Creator has some purpose in this. I don't know what it is yet, but I trust that there is one.
The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit refused a request from the Trump administration to reinstate a travel ban that had temporarily barred visitors from 7 nations: Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, and Iran, from entering the United States. This decision means President Trump's executive order cannot be enforced.
One word: unconstitutional. In every form of that word, of that phrase. I personally don't support it.
But I support the ban because I think if you look at what's going on in the parts of the world that have been jeopardized with this migrant crisis coming from the Middle East, you look at all the terrorist attacks, you look at all the problems that are happening in Europe right now.
Several international students whose countries aren't affected by the travel ban say they're still feeling some of the negative after effects.
It's gonna be kind of hard for them, like while coming into the US or before, while students currently in school. It's kind of devastating and sad.
With photographer Ben Reiki, Trevor Tice, Campus News.
The Justice Department said in a brief filed on Monday it would continue to defend President Trump's targeted travel ban in the Federal Appeals Court, which on Thursday refused to reinstate it. The University of California, Berkeley is investigating a staff member potentially linked to a violent protest. Police are looking into a communications employee at the university. Internet activists say a series of now-deleted tweets belong to the man. The tweets include photos of an assaulted Trump supporter on the ground with the caption, "He got rocked." The university maintains no students were among a group of 150 masked rioters who turned the protests violent. The riots began after people turned out in large crowds to protest a campus talk by political provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos.
A college president is taking a stand by offering a scholarship for refugees fleeing war-torn countries. Wheaton College President Hano says the school wants to send a message to students that they are still wanted. 18% of students at Wheaton come from 70 different countries. Refugees fleeing conflict from any country can apply for the scholarship. Students from the 7 countries affected by President Trump's temporary ban will get a priority.
The dream of free college tuition is almost a reality for students in San Francisco. Mayor Ed Lee and San Francisco Supervisor Jane Kim are introducing a plan to provide free community college tuition. Under this plan, San Francisco will give the college nearly $5.4 million every year. City College officials say they are hopeful the plan will reverse the decreasing enrollment trend. The plan covers 28,000 students who have lived in San Francisco for a year and a day. Are millennials leaving religion behind? According to a study done by Pew Research, millennials are the least religious generation.
Reporter Anthony Fridgen ventured into the Fargo Moorhead community to see if the area worship services are noticing a similar trend.
This is Crew, a student-run organization which has a chapter here at MSUM.
It's really encouraging to know you're not alone, because being a Christian, a Jesus follower isn't easy, and so having those people you know are there to support you, encourage you is super important, and like you can't compare anything else to it.
Came here to Moorhead, I knew how to get plugged in, so I just searched for it, because God does some great things through ministry and campus.
According to a study done by Pew Research Center, over 35% of millennials identify as nones, meaning that they are either agnostic, atheist, or with no affiliation with any religion.
Today's society seems so busy, like busy, they don't have time for church.
And I don't know if it's just because the busyness of school, or if it's just late nights of hanging out and studying.
This is Luke Sanderson.
Now I could ponder.
Luke is an atheist, meaning he does not believe in a God.
As a people, we're becoming more skeptical on issues, look more in depth in situations, and able to discover broader ideas.
But for Luke, expressing his belief can be difficult.
For me, my situation is dire because I haven't even told my parents I'm atheist, and I believe that they may ostracize me for what I believe, I guess.
Luke is just one of countless others from his generation who have decided to no longer follow a religion. With photographer Jared Schumacher, Anthony Fridgen, Campus News.
A study by San Diego State University researchers looked at the reasons behind the religious decline among young people. Their survey found it was due to a cultural shift and a growing emphasis on individualism.
As college costs rise each year, students get hungrier and lose their homes. The University of Wisconsin surveyed 4,000 community college students on hunger and homelessness. The survey shows 20% of those students were hungry, while 13% were homeless. Research leader Sarah Goldrick-Rabb says the schools must work with the federal and state governments to provide places to live and food to eat so students can learn and graduate. To help fill the gap, Bunker Hill Community College in Massachusetts is providing a food assistance program. This program is one of 25 food programs at the Massachusetts public colleges.
When most NDSU students are on break, one nursing student has a lot of love to give to the kids in Ethiopia. Reporter Alyssa Eidsness takes us along the journey.
They're just so happy, and they're like this all the time. And you would never guess what their circumstances are.
Kylie Helkinson is a third-year nursing student at NDSU.
This is a picture of me holding a little baby.
She's talking about her third trip to Ethiopia.
It was found a couple days before we got there.
And the little boy who was left on the street until an orphanage found him.
He was found by someone from the government, and they brought him to this orphanage where he's now taken care of every day by people who love him.
Kylie got involved through an outside organization called Ordinary Hero.
They would touch my hair and they would touch my face and they would say, makeup?
Even though it isn't required for nursing students to volunteer. Every year, they visit the same orphanages.
I kind of feel guilty when I'm there that I have so much and I feel like I'm not giving enough.
And Kylie says there's a good chance she'll be back again next year to give them a hand to hold.
They just find joy in the smallest things.
Alyssa Eidsness, Campus News.
If you are interested in donating, volunteering, or sponsoring a child through Ordinary Hero, visit www.ordinaryhero.org for more information.
There are multiple students with autism at MSUM. College life for them can be a little bit different. Reporter Tyler Ziegler introduces us to resources on campus that can help those students adapt to everyday college life.
College is hard enough as it is, but being a student with autism can present even more challenges. The Department of Disability Services at MSUM assists students that are seeking help adjusting.
We work on things like time management, organizational skills, follow through, making sure you get your assignments turned in, that type of thing.
Disability Services doesn't just assist students in the ways of education, the staff will also help in other areas of a student's life.
We also do some work on, visit with them about social skills, that type of thing. We also will refer students on the spectrum to our speech, language, and hearing sciences clinic where they can really work on social skills training and such.
Graduate assistant at MSUM, Emmy Smith, has some advice for students that are on the autistic spectrum that are trying to socialize on campus.
Make sure that you get involved, because I know oftentimes that maybe you feel kind of alone or you feel kind of weird with other people.
Emmy says that getting involved on campus is a great way for students with autism to become comfortable around other students.
Explore some of those clubs that maybe you really enjoy. I'm sure that there's going to be someone that you can connect with.
With photographers Paulina Glowacki and Derek Barkowitz, Tyler Ziegler, Campus News.
According to MSUM, there are roughly 15 students diagnosed with autism currently attending the university. It's not uncommon to log into your social media page and find plenty of college students complaining about stress of finals or being too tired to operate. But one former college student took his complaints one step further. Billy Wilson was a college freshman at Kansas State University with a 4.0 GPA. After one semester, he decided college wasn't worth it for him. He posted a picture of him sticking his middle finger up in front of the Kansas State University sign. It got over 11,000 shares and over 8,000 comments. His post said that college is way too expensive and irrelevant to what many will be doing in their careers. Kansas State University did not comment on the issue, but did confirm that Billy Wilson was a former student there.
I don't know about you, Ben, but I'm addicted to social media. I do not know if I could survive if I had to give it up.
Veronica, I'm not quite on your level, but I think I can sympathize. Swearing off Facebook is a trend that's slowly getting popular for students across the U.S. Reporter James McCarty explains why college students have mixed feelings about giving up their online profiles.
MSUM student Wyatt Koskela had his own reasons for why he swore off Facebook.
I feel better because I'm not always looking at all the negative stuff on Facebook. So it's just overall more positivity, and I think that's part of the reason why I did it too, because there's a bunch of negative stuff on there.
The average American spends more than double the time per day on Facebook than other social media sites like Twitter or Snapchat. Another MSUM student, Andrew Boucher, isn't participating in the trend, but he does understand why some students are.
People are choosing to be on Facebook, social media less. I can't say that I've been one of those people at all. I think it's the new medium. I think it is a brand new marketing tool. It's a way to raise awareness, and it's how, unfortunately, people are getting their news, I guess. There could be definitely a correlation between the length of time that you spend on social media and how it affects your mood.
School officials have their reasons to why they think the trend swearing off Facebook has taken off.
Most of the people I know who have sworn off Facebook for a period of time have done so much more recently because of the really divisive political atmosphere, and some people just don't want that kind of toxicity in their life.
When your mood is already low or your anxiety is high and you're comparing yourself to what people put out there, I always say most of the time you're comparing your worst 1% of your day to their best 1%.
Whether students do follow the trend to swear off Facebook, even if it's only for a short time, the social media site is still a big part of today's society. With photographer Leah Backstrom, James McCarty, Campus News.
Koskela says he's been in a happier mood since swearing off Facebook.
Former convicts are taken in a part of a program that gives prisoners a chance to become college graduates. The Underground Scholars Initiative helps students with records succeed in college. University of California, Berkeley started the program during the 2012-2013 school year. Since then, dozens of former prisoners have graduated. Initiative founders Danny Murillo and Stephen Sifra are both graduates from the program. The two men are looking to expand the program to other California campuses. Students at MSU Moorhead spent the afternoon adventuring around campus and learning about the various clubs and activities the university has to offer. Reporter Yarvo Brown takes us to the second annual mud crawl. You guys go, and it has instructions on there.
MSUM Dragons were asked to travel and find several locations on campus to get their passport stamped.
Hit till 5.
Sweet. Because then, like, all 3 of those are in Flora Frick, and then that one's in Bridges and Owens.
The amount of stamps you get determine if you'll get the big prize.
You still get a mug and a shirt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The students got their ID scanned, got a passport, and had to travel to 4 exotic getaways on campus to complete their travel. After getting all 4 locations stamped, they had to go back to Student Union, send a tweet on social media to receive a shirt and a mug full with free stuff. Caitlin Adams and her friends decided to participate in this event because of the treats, and it was something fun to do.
I love coffee, and sweets and everything like that, so just go around to different stops.
Dragon Entertainment Group set up this event because of Dragon Frost Week.
The mug crawl gets students to a lot of different offices around campus that they might not ever been to or might not ever go to, just to know other places on campus that they might not even know existed.
Prizes in the mug crawl included beverages, snacks at each location, and of course, a mug. With photographers Tamar Sati, Yarville Brown, Campus News.
Woo. According to the Dragon Entertainment Group, more than 160 students participated. The Kings and Queens of Drag took the Comstock Memorial Union Ballroom by storm.
Reporter Zach Hoffner introduces us to the professionals and students who took the stage for this exciting night.
To promote diversity, acceptance, and unity among dragons in the community was the theme of this night as the dragons went drag.
It gives you a reassurance or like a reminder that be who you are, no matter what you want to do or no matter who you think you are, just be who you know yourself to be.
Whether you're a cobber, a dragon, a bison, or just a member of the community, we came together in the CMU ballroom to watch the drag kings and queens strut their stuff. A lot has changed since the event began 6 years ago.
We have seen a lot more support from the community and from the campus community, which has been really great. I remember the first year we did it, we got a lot of pushback in the beginning, and now we're seeing a lot of support, which is awesome.
But that is not to say there isn't anxiety for some performers. Just ask Adrenaline Junkie.
Honestly, I've been full diarrhea in Depends for the last week and a half. So I picked a nasty song for this nasty body.
A return to the stage isn't out of the question for Adrenaline, but there are a few contingencies.
Based on the amount of seizing and ankle breaking I do on the stage, that will tell if I do this again. If more tears break off this bottom lash, I probably won't do it again.
A night filled with dancing, lip syncing, unity, acceptance, and dollar bills is one many say they will not forget. With photographer Veronica Utek, Zach Hoffner, Campus News.
This is the 7th drag show that MSUM has hosted. They are anticipating many more in the years to come.
And now I turn it over to Haley Foster for a look at this week's sports. Haley, I do not know anything about basketball, but one thing I do know is that it's important to shoot the ball into the right hoop.
That's right, Veronica. And it's also very important to know which side you're on. It was an eventful weekend for the Bison men's basketball team. 2 players joined the 1,000-point club, and Kai Cabellas made one of the craziest shots of all time in his own hoop. Check this out. While playing against Denver, Cabellas went to save the ball from going out of bounds, but he accidentally flung it backward behind the 3-point line, scoring against his own team. Cabellas ended up scoring 17 points total in the game for NDSU and 2 points for Denver. The Bison ended up beating the Pioneers 81-63. Members of the NDSU track and field team are throwing themselves to the top with their strong performances this season. Reporter Brendan Finger tells us how the Bison plan to continue this winning trend.
The NDSU Bison men's throwing team has been dominating the rankings. The Bison sit at the top in weight throwing and are also at the top in the shot put. Giving a strong performance in the shot put to claim 4th on the 2nd day of the Bison Open, junior thrower Peyton Otterdahl says focusing on the little things is important.
Execute the finer things a little bit better. Just the smallest things can make a big difference, and you never know which small thing is going to make the big difference in a throw, but it's the difference between feet when you get out there.
In order to continue on with their success, NDSU throwing coach Justin St. Clair says the guys need to stay focused.
Don't look at results. Don't look at rankings. Stay humble and stay focused on what you're trying to do. I don't think rankings really make a whole lot of difference. It's a matter of just showing up and doing what you're told every day and executing the training.
As the Bison approach conference play, Otterdahl explains what needs to be done in order to continue on with strong performances.
We just got to stay competitive with each other. As we get closer to conference, we'll be tapering more in our workouts. They'll get a little lighter and easier so we can start feeling better with our bodies and faster in practice and meets.
Holding first place in both the weight throw and the shot put means the Bison take their destiny into their own hands moving forward. With photographer Robin Rohde, Brendan Finger, Campus News Sports.
The Bison throwers look to continue their success as they prepare for the Summit League Indoor Championship next week. With playoffs coming closer, the University of North Dakota men's hockey team hopes they can make it to the NCAA tournament for the 15th straight season. North Dakota is currently number 10 in the pairwise rankings despite their under 500 record in the conference. UND's 6-1-1 record in non-conference play has helped them stay in playoff contention. If UND makes the NCAA tournament, they'll be placed in the West Regional in Fargo as the host team. The Fighting Hawks have key series against Omaha and Miami to close out the season. For the 10th straight season, the Cobber College women's hockey team finds itself in the conference playoff picture. The Cobbers clinched their spot in the playoffs with a 5-1 win over St. Olaf last Friday. Jess Nelson led the way this season for Concordia. The senior has tallied 21 points this season and has shown no signs of slowing down heading into playoffs. The Cobbers will play their regular season finale today at home against Bethel. MSUM's Nemzik Fieldhouse was awash with pink. Reporter Brandon Finger shows us how Dragon Athletics is raising awareness for breast cancer.
It was all about breast cancer awareness as MSUM held their 10th annual Go Pink with the Dragons night at Nemzik Fieldhouse. Go Pink night hits home for MSUM junior guard Cassidy Thorson, as she says she has a loved one who has been affected by breast cancer.
My grandma Verna she's had it 3 times, and she just had it the 3rd time last year.
Thorson was playing for more than just her team on this night, as she says her performance was dedicated to her grandma.
I'd like to think that. I was playing for her tonight, and all the other cancer survivors or anyone who has had breast cancer or cancer.
The night was more than just basketball, as t-shirts along with dilly bars from Dairy Queen were sold with proceeds going to the Go Pink Scholarship. A silent auction was also held, with items like a pink basketball being auctioned off. The Go Pink Scholarship was also presented to one MSUM student athlete and one MSUM student. Recipient Aaron De Maria says it means a lot to win this award.
It means that despite these illnesses and bad things happening, we can be positive and find the good things, and good things will happen to us.
Recipient and cross-country runner Whitney Welder says that Go Pink Night is an important event to hold.
I think it really helps to raise a lot of awareness, that it allows people to know that, it's not just older people that are affected by cancer, there's younger ones out there too.
With everyone dressed in pink, from the players, coaches, cheerleaders, and even veterans, everyone came together to join the fight against breast cancer. With photographer Robin Rohde, Brendan Finger, Campus News Sports.
To learn more about breast cancer, you can visit AmericanCancerSociety.org. Across the hall, MSUM brought a classic board game to life in MSUM's Nemzik Field Pool House. Battleship H2O takes a childhood game and adds a unique twist: buckets, a pool, and canoes. The event had teams battling it out, using buckets for attack and shields for defense. Teams tried to fill each other's canoes with water. The last group to sink was named the victor. Those who participated told us the key to winning: balance and endurance. Battleship H2O was hosted as part of MSUM's annual Dragonfrost Week. I don't know about you guys, but I could see myself really enjoying something like Battleship. I think I'd have a lot of fun throwing water at people.
All right, Haley, well, next year you're on.
That's right, Ben. Let's get some teams together.
All right. Sheep, cows, and pigs, oh my.
Herds of people travel to NDSU to celebrate the 91st Little International. Reporter Sarah Erickson takes us to the center of the ring to find out what goes into putting on such a large livestock show.
Every year inside Shepherd's Arena, the Saddle and Sirloin Club shows off their passion for animals at the Little International Livestock Show.
To NDSU, it's kind of that hidden treasure that a lot of people don't know about.
Little I is the largest student-organized event at NDSU. Here, contestants can show off their knowledge of dairy cows, sheep, and pigs. From the barn to inside the arena, Clay Olin spends most of his time preparing for the big event.
My favorite part is just watching the whole prep, how this can go from kind of a rundown looking building and now it looks awesome, and everybody's animals go from unfitted, basically wild beast, into trained animals that just look perfect out there in the ring.
Inspiring an industry is what this year's theme is all about, but the Saddle and Sirloin Club spends day in and day out just to make the Little I happen.
Oh, I have a huge love-hate relationship with Little I, honestly. I look forward to it every year. It's my favorite event at NDSU, but I also hate it because you get so sleep deprived by the end of the week, but it's just so much fun.
People come from all over to view the show. For some, like NDSU's president, Dean Brashani, watching the show brings back memories.
I come from a ranch background, and so this is kind of a lot of fun for me, remembering what it's like to be in a show arena, to see our students excelling at what they're doing, and to be around the livestock is just a lot of fun.
Students don't have to come from a farm background to be a part of Little I.
It's not just ag students, it's students that have big city backgrounds and have the opportunity to experience what it's like to be an agriculturalist.
The Little International is a tradition older than Bison football, one that these NDSU students are striving to keep alive. Sarah Erickson, Campus News.
This year's Agriculturist of the Year award went to Arlen Sherbinsky. And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with another look at NDSU's Little International.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the School of Communication and Journalism at Minnesota State University Moorhead in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.